And as part of our continuing series on lust, women who are thinking outside of the box and outside of their cities to find Prince Charming. He may be wearing a cowboy hat and spurs. So saddle on up and come along for the ride. Up next, Lust Week is going to get a little lighter and take a different turn as we meet two women who went out west for their lust for love to meet a real live cowboy. Do the sparks fly? We'll find out right after this. Judy, thank you very much. Thank you. No, you start right there. So much for Sex in the City. It's more like lust on the range. A new survey shows that 80% of women living in major metropolitan areas are not satisfied with their city's dating scene. So what's a girl to do? We, the Women's Entertainment Network, thinks they have the answer. They've taken some single city slickers and given them the opportunity to meet a real country boy in a new series called Girl Meets Cowboys. Go ahead and take a look.
Up the stakes a little bit, see what kind of... Hi ladies, I'm Phil, and I'm going to be your cowboy. I'm Phil, and I grew up on a dairy farm with a big family, have 4 other brothers. I'm here because I haven't found the right girl, and I'm hoping to spark something with one of these 4 women coming to this beautiful ranch. I'm going to treat these women like they've never been treated before, and they're going to see that there are good men out there still.
Let's bring in my guest, Dr. Jen Berman, a licensed marriage, family, and child therapist. And with her, 2 of the women featured on Girl Meets Cowboy, Jessica Frazier and Alyssa Weinberg. Okay, ladies, I'm going to get to you in just a minute. Dr. Jen, an e-poll commissioned by We Television said that 81% of women said they were willing to make a lifestyle change for the right man. Is this a good thing? I'm going to change for him, or are we a little too easy to comply?
Well, I think you bring up a great point. It's not good to give up your sense of self, but I do think it's terrific when women are willing to think outside the box and push themselves into different situations. We live in a day and age where you can telecommute. You don't even have to give up your job to move to the country and be with your cowboy.
But you do have to give up your heels. And ladies, there is nowhere in the world that you are going to be wearing the sparkling gold take me out of Kansas shoes if you're going to be out there in the manure with the cowboys. Okay, so Alyssa, what's wrong with big city men?
I think compared to Phil, the cowboy that you just saw, and some other guys on the ranch, they're just not as attentive. The guys on the ranch were extremely nice and always making sure you're okay and, you know, just relax and having a good time. And here in the city, you're just always go, go, go.
He had his shirt off. Of course you were having a good time. I mean, it's like having a perpetual Matthew McConaughey around at all times. Jess, if you found the right cowboy, would you really be willing to pack up your life and move to the country? You hesitate, girlfriend.
Well, I think that I wouldn't necessarily be willing to give up all of my passions and love. However, I would be willing to move to Texas or definitely somewhere in order to be complementary to one another and compromise, because I think that's important, and I've learned that here in living in the city life.
So you wouldn't give up who you are as Jessica?
No, absolutely.
But to relocate is not out of the question.
Yeah,
is a fair way to put it. Dr. Jen, the study also shows that women prefer the Matthew McConaughey's over the city slickers like a George Clooney. Now, you know what? That's because Matthew walks around with his shirt off.
Have you seen those abs?
And a 9-pack 24/7. Whereas you've got Clooney, who is just a pretty boy Clark Gable of this century. I don't think either one of these ladies would throw either one of these men out of bed. I'm sorry.
No, very few women would. But I think that women are very excited by that kind of masculine energy and that kind of cowboy casual attitude, and the 6-pack abs certainly don't hurt.
Okay, which one do you prefer? Alyssa, Jessica, are you the Matthew McConaughey rugged kind of guy preference?
I'm hands down Matthew McConaughey. I think it's much sexier to be in t-shirt and jeans than a suit.
You do? Are you that person?
I like my men a little dirty, so
Women always always say they like their men a little dirty, and then when you get them, the first thing you want to do is put them in the shower. Dr. Jen, help me with this.
Physically dirty.
Okay.
Like jeans, t-shirts, casual, laid back.
Do you believe that part of the study that women do want a more rugged man than sort of your
metrosexual.
Buttoned up,
I think that women these days are encountering a lot of metrosexual, city kind of guys, and some of them are really craving some more masculine energy, and I think the cowboy really fits with that archetype and excites women.
So metrosexual meaning they care about their clothes, they get the eyebrows cleaned up, that all kind of stuff. You want down and dirty.
Somewhat. I want them to be well kept, but also I don't, like I work in Midtown and I walk around and see all these guys in suits, and that doesn't attract me.
Okay, you know what you want it all. That's what you want.
I do.
This is what you want. You want it all. Did you find love on the show, Jessica?
I can honestly say I had a great time. I'm single, so...
She's advertising, buddy.
No, but I had a great time, and I left there with new friends that I never thought I would leave with friends.
But what about this whole makeout thing? Because, Alyssa, this is the thing. I used to be such a big fan of those Bachelor-type shows, and then I got perturbed because you're, put in a confined area with a very finite amount of time, and the next thing you know, you're making out. That's not really the imagery that I want to put out there. So I got to put that one to you.
Yeah, in those situations, it's different. It's not real life. Everything's sped up 1,001 times. Yeah. So the way I may have acted on the show is not necessarily how I act in real life, but it doesn't change the people that you meet as, you go through the week, and the way they are and the way I am. It's just kind of sped up a little bit. Maybe.
It is sped up an awful lot, and Jen, I know that's one of the things you have an issue with.
Yeah, I mean, I've done more reality TV than I'd like to admit, and one of the things I've really found is exactly what you're saying, the intensity. One day on reality TV is like a month in the normal world, and the truth is people do find love. People do fall in love. Look at Trista and Ryan, but
look at the rest of them. Are any of the other ones together?
But at the same time, how many frogs did you have to kiss before you met Al? If you look at it. Sorry, that made it all up and down my arm. But if you think about how many people the average woman has to date before she finds Prince Charming, we're a little tough when it comes to reality TV because people do fall in love, and then sometimes it doesn't translate to the regular world, but also sometimes you date people and it doesn't work out.
You are absolutely right in that regard. I never thought about that. Do you really think that opposites attract? At least these ladies, they're sort of pulled together. They have that New York, glamour quality to them. And these boys just seem like down-home boys.
Well, I think that, you want to be complete all by yourself. Oftentimes when you see someone who has strengths where you have weaknesses, it can be very sexy. And to see how it works, you have to check out WeTV on Sundays at 10 p.m.
There you go. I got to tell you, the one thing I don't like is you all are going after the same people. It's like you're hanging with your best friend and dealing with your best friend's man. That kind of gave me a little creepola. But you've got to watch the show to find out how it turns out. Thanks to our guests, Jen Berman, Alyssa Weinberg, and Jessica Frazier. Girl Meets Cowboy airs on Sunday nights on WeTV. When we come back, we'll switch from the lust for love to the lust for cheating.